Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So in this ASMR football or soccer video meant to help you relax and maybe fall asleep, I'm going to go through the Women's World Cup group stages now it's over and talk about some of the massive shocks that are happening in this tournament, similarly to the men's tournament a couple of years ago. So let's talk about the group stage as a whole. We'll talk then about the knockout round matches and predict who's going to win each particular section. Okay, so let's start off with all of the shocks, starting with Group A. Okay, here we go. Okay, so in Group A, we've got Switzerland, Norway, New Zealand and Philippines in that order. So Norway nearly dropped out at the group stage. New Zealand did, unfortunately. It's not very nice when one of the hosts or co-hosts drops out at the first stage, but they did really well. They only went out on goal difference to Norway. So Switzerland topped the group, Norway in second place, which is going to have a large bearing on the next round actually. Okay, Group B has finished. Australia first, Nigeria second, Canada third, Ireland fourth. So the plucky Irish, I watched a couple of their games, came last. They didn't really deserve to come last, but there we go. Australia topped the group, so their dreams are alive of doing well in their home country. Nigeria shocked everyone and have come second. They got 5 points out of their 3 games, which is 1 win and 2 draws, goal difference of +1, and they put out the gold medalists from the Olympics, Canada, who were tipped to be a bit of a dark horse to go the whole way. So Nigeria have shocked everyone. Australia have topped the group. I said my prediction was Australia and Canada. I said I didn't know anything about the Nigerians, but don't count them out. Same with the Irish. Not hugely shocked that the Nigerians have got through, but I thought it would probably be for Australia rather than Canada, who I tipped to be one of the top teams in the whole competition. So I'm a little bit shocked at that. Okay, Group C, fewer shocks in this group. So Japan come top, Spain came second, Zambia third, and Costa Rica fourth. We'll talk a little bit more about Japan later and the Spanish national team. I got my shirt on, whose final game was a bit bizarre but started really well. So I said Spain were either gonna go out to the group stage or get to a semi-final. So the last game made me feel like maybe they won't get to a semi-final, but I still think that they're going to do quite well. Japan have been the ones to shock me, though. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the knockout stage section of this video. Okay, Group D, this is England's group. So England first, Denmark second, China third, Haiti fourth. I said probably that would be the way around, but I wouldn't have been shocked had China qualified instead of Denmark. But Denmark got past the line. Slow start from England, but actually building up on that. Similar to the men's team, really, in the sense that they start really sluggishly, just a cheeky 1-0 win with a penalty, and all of a sudden now they're starting to score goals, so they get into their rhythm as the tournament progresses. Before we talk about the big Group E, the group of death in my opinion, I just want to say a massive thank you to my new Patreons. Lots of you watch this channel and the Maps channel that I do, so thank you so much for watching. If you want to join them, then see the link below. Okay, enough about that. So Group E, really exciting group. I said USA first, Netherlands second, Portugal third. It turned out to be the Dutch getting first spot, and they look good. We'll talk about them later. USA, not so good, really shocked at this. 1 win and 2 draws, so they haven't lost or anything, but still not their usual standard. Usually they fly through the group stages. This is a difficult group though. Portugal narrowly missing out on scalping the world champions, coming third, and Vietnam coming fourth without any points. Okay, Group F next. This is another interesting group. Okay, so eventually, and when I say eventually I mean like in the second half of the final group, stage matches, France managed to get first spot. But 3 minutes into the match they conceded and they were going out at the group stage. Jamaica drew with Brazil, which meant that Jamaica have come through in second spot. Brazil are out of the World Cup. Now, I don't care whether it's men's football or women's football, that is not good. So that was one of the first shocks. France nearly went out. Brazil have gone out. Jamaica are through. Well done to you guys. Panama came last, unfortunately, but Brazil with 4 points, 1 win, draw and loss. Jamaica, no losses, 2 draws, 1 win, 5 points to Brazil's 4. So they go through to the next knockout. Marta probably retiring after this tournament, and no sort of big hurrah for Marta's Brazil, unfortunately. Okay, next up is Group G, another interesting one. Okay, so I said at the beginning of the tournament I would be rooting for Spain, but then also the Dutch and the Swedish, who I feel are the strongest teams in this competition, although I admitted I thought it would be an England-USA final. So Sweden have absolutely smashed it out of the park. They have come first, 3 wins out of 3, goal difference of +8, 9 points out of a possible 9. They're looking so good. South Africa have shocked everyone. They came from behind against Italy. Terrible own goal by the Italians. They've come second, so it's great to see another African team getting out to the group stage. And Italy and Argentina, those powerhouses of world football. Argentina finished bottom of the group with 1 solitary draw. Italy were going through until they messed it up against South Africa. Late goal by South Africa put them out of the competition as well. So Sweden through, South Africa with them. And then finally Group H, which happened this morning. I was watching it. Absolutely shocked by everything I saw. So Group H, the seeds in this group were Germany and South Korea. The final positions are first Colombia, who beat Germany, 2 Morocco, who lost in their opening match 6-0 to Germany, and then 3rd Germany, and 4th South Korea. The match between Germany and South Korea was fantastic. Morocco managed to beat Colombia earlier on with a penalty just at the end of the first half, which means that Morocco go through, even if they lost their first. They got a -4 goal difference, which is incredible. So Colombia, they've always got this potential, haven't they? They're one of the South American nations that have the greatest potential to shock, to get a result when you don't think they're going to. Bearing in mind that Argentina and Brazil are both out. So that means that, if I'm right in thinking, they're the only South American team left. Yeah, so they're flying the flag for South America. However, we've got South Africa themselves, Morocco, and anyone else? Nigeria flying the flag for Africa. And then we've got Japan, who are through from Asia, and Jamaica, who are through along with the USA for what we call North America, and North and Central America, the CONCACAF region in footballing terms. So Colombia first, Morocco second. Bearing in mind this Germany team made it to the final of the European Championships to lose to England. They are former world champions themselves. They have never finished lower than first in the group stage, and they've gone out because they've got 1 win, draw and a loss. They couldn't get past South Korea today, and really sad for Alex Popp, who's an amazing talent. I think they said today that her current record is 8 goals in 8 competitive matches at World Cups and European Championships. So that is I cannot believe, was it just World Cups? Maybe it's not including European Championships. I can't remember. But, you know, it's a goal ratio that Ronaldo would be jealous of. In fact, Ronaldo's never scored outside of the group stages in the World Cup. So I think Alex Popp has scored more goals than Ronaldo at a World Cup. So, yeah, absolutely insane records, but going home, unfortunately. Okay, so let's take a look at the knockouts and see what we think is going to happen. Okay, I had a cheeky look, and unlike the normal way it works, particularly with the men's teams, it hasn't gone the same way. So I thought, usually what happens, with the men's teams at least, is that the winner of Group A takes on the second team in Group B, the winner of Group B takes on the second team in Group A. But that's not happened. So I'm trying to work out, and I'm very bad at maths, but I'm trying to work out whether that means that the same teams from the group stages might meet each other again in the semi-finals. Because I remember a couple of years ago this happened when Turkey faced Brazil in the group, and then again in the semi-finals. And that was at the South Korea and Japanese World Cup in 2002 in the men's teams. So let me just have a quick look. So let's look at England's group. Denmark. Yes, England and Denmark are on the same side of the draw. So if they were both to reach as far as possible, they would have to face each other again, which I'm not a massive fan of. I think you should really avoid each other, but I can't affect it. So. Okay, so on the first side of the draw, this is on FootMob, by the way. So I'm going to say this is the top and this is the bottom, okay? Sometimes you have left and right hand side of the draw. So the top side of the draw, Switzerland against España. I think, well, I'll do my predictions in a second. Next match, the Dutch against South Africa, which historically has quite got a lot of interesting connotations. Then Japan against Norway, which is a really early stage for two former world champions to go against each other. Talking about former world champions, USA have got Sweden, so to be honest, that could have been the final. So that is going to be an absolutely amazing match, 6th of August. Don't miss it, that is going to be amazing. Okay, and on the next side of the draw, we got Australia, Denmark, France, Morocco, in a repeat of the Men's World Cup, England, Nigeria, tricky, and Colombia, Jamaica. So, let's take a look at these one by one. Switzerland, Spain. I think is a 50-50 chance either team could go through. Spain, on paper, should win this match, but Switzerland are so difficult to beat, and they finished top of their group. So, I think it's an absolute 50-50. I'm going to be rooting for Spain, but I would not be shocked or disappointed if the Swiss get through instead. Okay, the Dutch against the South Africans. Again, on paper, the South Africans don't stand a chance, but, you know, they got out of the group, so I would be very cautious, and I'm hoping the Dutch make it to the semi-final, so at the very least. So I'm going to say the Dutch to win, but I hope they don't take the South Africans for granted. Okay, really hard side of the draw this. Japan, Norway. Japan, for me, are being touted as being potential finalists. They are doing really well. Norway have started really slowly. So I'm going to predict Japan to win, but of course Norway have the quality to win this match as well. Sweden, USA. Can the Swedes, with their magnificent form in the group stage, knock out the current world champions in the first knockout round? It would be like a day of mourning in the US if this happened. I think they can do it on form, and to be honest, on paper, you know, they've got USA are in a transition. They've got a lot of older players, you know, Alex Morgan, Rapinoe. They're sort of aging now. A lot of young talent, but, you know, raw. Whereas Sweden are a settled team. A lot of their players are recognised from the European Championships and the last World Cup, and they're not too old because they were sort of younger at that point. They've got experience. I think Sweden are going to do it. I think they're going to do it. Let's see. Okay. Next side of the draw then. Australia, Denmark. It's very difficult to count the Danish out. They're very good at knockout football. However, Australia have got momentum. They're a home team. They've got Alex Kerr. Is it Alex Kerr? They've got Kerr. Yeah, I see them winning. Australia winning that one, but obviously it's the knockout. Anything can happen. France, Morocco should be, on paper, an easy win for France. It'll probably be quite a high-scoring one for France as well, unless Morocco do Morocco. So they can either, you know, win 1-0 with a penalty, or lose 6-0. I think it's more likely the latter. They're going to lose big, but they've shown us that they are capable of getting a good result, but also of being smashed. So we'll see. England, Nigeria. I wonder. Tell me, please, English fans, are you pleased with this draw? Because Nigeria. Let me just look at the group they came from. They weren't supposed to qualify, so they came out of Group B, which is weird because it's Group D against Group B. But there we are. So technically, it could have been or should have been Australia or Canada. So on one hand, the English must be quite glad that they're not against the Olympic gold champions or the host nation. But equally, Nigeria are a really good team. They're playing some great stuff. They've got momentum. They're unbeaten. I think England will do it, but I think it might go to penalties or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's not going to be an easy one, even though on paper they would have hoped not to face Australia or Canada. But there we go. And then Colombia, Jamaica, who knows? Both these teams, I'm going to put, shouldn't be here. They both have overachieved in this competition, and they're both, in uncharted territory. So I'm really excited to see one of them get a quarterfinal spot. That's going to be amazing for their country's history. So we're either going to see Colombia in the quarterfinals or Jamaica. Probably, I'm not sure here, but probably for the first time either team. So that's brilliant for the national sport in their respective countries. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Let me know with a comment if you agree or disagree with me. That's absolutely fine. And let me know what you think is going to be the quarter-final lineup. I'm thinking Spain against the Netherlands, Japan against Sweden. I'm going to get nailed for that in the comment section from my American fans. Australia, France, and England, Colombia. What do you think? Okay. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much. Click like, click subscribe, drop a comment, and join Patreon if you really want to. And I'll see you soon for more videos. We'll talk again at the quarterfinal spots. Okay, see you soon. Take care.